Welcome to this custom-tailored deep dive. I've honestly been looking forward to this one all week.
Oh, same here. It's going to be a big one.
It is massive. Our mission today is it's huge. We are completely unpacking the upcoming, highly anticipated 5th and final season of The Boys.
Dropping April 8, 2026.
Exactly, April 8. And when I say we're unpacking it, I mean we are bringing together just an absolute mountain of comprehensive knowledge.
You don't have everything.
Right. The plot details, the confirmed casting, all the episode titles, and some really deep sociological analyses of these characters. Because we aren't just looking at what happens in this blood-soaked world, you know? We're looking at why it matters.
Or why it resonates so much with you, the listener.
Right, and we possess all the insider knowledge and analytical insight to guide you through this absolute apocalypse that is Season 5. No rumors, no guessing.
We just know.
We just know. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. And it really is an apocalyptic landscape. To understand where Season 5 is heading, we first got to take a hard look at the grim reality following the end of Season 4.
It's bad. I mean, the United States is basically unrecognizable.
Completely. Martial law has been declared by President Stephen Calhoun, but, you know, Calhoun is just a figurehead. He's a puppet.
Right. Homelander is the one actually running the show.
Exactly. Homelander is in total control, operating with this unchecked, ego-driven power right out of the Oval Office. We are looking at a state of dystopian terror.
And it's a really intense political mirror. But I should pause here and just put a quick warning out for you listening. We are looking at this strictly as the fictional framework the writers built.
Right. Impartial reporting.
Exactly. We are not taking sides or endorsing the alt-right or alt-left political viewpoints depicted on the show. We're merely exploring this fictional world where Homelander is controlling America through fascist terror and, you know, throwing human dissenters into these horrifying freedom camps.
Freedom camps. Yeah, it's a dark reflection. And against those camps, you have Starlight, Huey, and Butcher mounting this desperate underground resistance.
But the stakes they're so much higher than just political control now.
Oh, way higher. Homelander doesn't just want power anymore. He wants immortality.
Mm-hmm.
He's actively hunting down the very first iteration of Compound V.
Which is terrifying. I mean, his new mantra, it gives me chills. He says, "My power is absolute. At heights no one's even dreamed of, but I have a bigger destiny."
He wants to be a permanent god.
Right. But then you look at Billy Butcher's counterstrike, and I don't know, it might actually be worse.
It's a desperate plan. Butcher is armed with that Supe-killing virus developed at Godolkin University.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just want to take out Homelander anymore. He is ready to wipe all Supes off the map.
But wait, if he does that, if he unleashes a global virus, what happens to Starlight? Or Kimiko? Or A-Train?
They die.
Is he actually willing to sacrifice them?
Yes, that's the tragedy here. Butcher is willing to commit mass genocide to win this war.
I mean, how does a person's brain even get to that point? Underneath all the lasers and exploding heads, this show really is a masterclass in broken psychology.
It truly is. And to really understand this endgame, it helps to look at a theoretical framework that categorizes the characters into 3 distinct types of anti-heroes.
Okay, let's break that down.
So the first category is the fundamental anti-hero. Think Homelander, the deep, translucent Stormfront.
Basically the absolute worst of the worst.
Exactly. They have absolutely no moral constraints. They suffer from extreme superiority complexes and dark psychological deviations. Homelander's ego and his massive daddy issues drive his terrifying actions. He demands unconditional love from the whole world because he never got it as a kid in that cold lab.
Right, and the Deep has empathy for a sea cucumber, but abuses human women. And Stormfront was literally a century-old Nazi using internet meme culture as a shield.
Fundamentally broken people.
But there's a second category, which I think is where the real tragedy lives.
Yeah, the latent anti-heroes. Billy Butcher, Huey Campbell, Starlight, Queen of Eve, Kimiko.
Ordinary people, or well-meaning supes, who just got traumatized by a cruel world.
Exactly. They're forced into anti-heroism.
Hmm.
Butcher is the most tragic example. His remaining humanity hinges entirely on his wife's son, Ryan. If he loses that, he becomes the monster he's fighting.
And you see it with Huey, too. He was just a sweet kid until A-Train literally ran through his girlfriend. He had to adapt, and Starlight had to suppress all her idealism just to survive the corporate machine.
Which brings us to the third category, the pragmatic anti-heroes.
Stan Edgar, Madeline Stillwell, A-Train, Frenchie.
Yes, the calculative, manipulative survivalists. They understand right and wrong, they just ignore it when it doesn't serve their ambitions.
They flip morality on and off like a light switch.
And all 3 of these types thrive because of VOD International. Vought represents this philosophical concept called the society of performance.
Society performance.
Right. In this world, a person's value is entirely based on their commercial potential, physical attractiveness, and public image. It completely divorces success from morality.
So it's not about being good, it's about performing goodness for the cameras. And so what does this all mean for you listening? I mean, think about how modern corporate and social media environments work. They often demand that exact same performance over authenticity.
It's very relatable, and that pressure is bleeding into the expanding physical universe of the show.
Oh, absolutely. The Gen V characters are bleeding directly into Season 5.
Right.
We know Marie Moreau, Emma, Kate, and Sam are deeply involved. Marie and her friends have officially joined Starlight's resistance.
They are providing crucial assists in this underground war. Marie's blood manipulation is a game changer against high-tier Supes.
It is. But they aren't the only ones joining the chaos. We have to talk about the massive supernatural reunion that Eric Kripke has engineered for this final season.
Oh, Kripke's playground.
Yes. Jensen Ackles returns heavily as Soldier Boy, and he is driven by pure revenge to kill Butcher for betraying him.
And his entrance, he awakens from cryogenic stasis in just his underwear.
And a shirt that says, "Sorry, Snowflake."
Yeah. And he just looks bewildered at Homelander and asks, "Did you frog me?"
It is so perfect. That blend of high-stakes tension and absurd comedy. But it's not just Ackles. Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins are officially joining the chaos.
In undisclosed high-stakes roles.
Yes, tracking into this lavish mansion. Just having Ackles, Padalecki, and Collins together in this R-rated universe is gonna be wild.
And we also have new faces like Daveed Diggs, Seth Rogen, Paul Reiser, and Mason Dye stepping in as a character named Bombsight.
The board is totally set. But as we decode the endgame, and specifically the episode titles, we need to remember one rule.
No one is safe.
No one.
Kripke has talked about his deep fear of the graveyard of terrible series finales. He's focusing on deep emotional arcs, not just hollow spectacle. And because it's the final season, they have the freedom to just waste people.
Yeah, zero guarantees of survival. Let's look at the confirmed episode titles because they spell out a lot. Episode 1 is 15 inches of sheer dynamite.
Kicking off with the brutal breakout from the freedom camps.
Right, setting a frantic pace. Then episode 2 is Teenage Kicks.
Which logically points to A-Train. Will he make the ultimate heroic sacrifice here to complete his redemption arc?
It makes so much sense for a pragmatic antihero. Then we have episode 4, Though the Heavens Fall.
Total collapse of order.
Homelander goes full rogue dictator.
Exactly.
And then episode 7, this one makes my stomach drop. The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk.
It is incredibly ominous.
It hints at the darkest comic book plotline. Butcher might actually turn on his own core team to ensure his genocide succeeds.
Because Kimiko is a Supe, and Frenchie and MM have taken, Butcher has to kill them to achieve his goal.
Which leads right into episode 8, Blood and Bone, the final devastating showdown on May 20.
But who is the showdown between?
Right. Is it Butcher versus Homelander? Or is it Butcher versus Huey for the moral soul of the world?
And hovering over all of this is the Ryan variable.
Ryan is the key to everything.
He really is. If Ryan dies, Homelander's last shred of tethered humanity vanishes.
Making a total global purge inevitable.
Exactly.
It's a terrifying precipice. To summarize the sheer magnitude of what is coming, we are looking at the brutal climax of a 5-season journey. The ultimate clash between absolute power and biological warfare.
And the tragic psychological unraveling of these characters. When you watch this final season, keep your eyes peeled for those emotional character arcs amidst the gore. Remember, the best action scenes are just metaphors for what the characters are feeling internally.
Absolutely. Watch for the vulnerability behind the violence. And before we go, I want to leave you with a final lingering thought to mull over. We talked earlier about Vought as the ultimate society of performance where superheroes are packaged and optimized for public consumption.
Yeah.
But think about your own life. In an age of constant digital connection and personal branding, how much of your own identity has been subtly optimized just to sell yourself to your peers? Are we all living in our own mini-bot?
That is a very provocative question to chew on.
Something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We can't wait to see how it all ends, and we know you can't either. Catch you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.